Breitling is a brand that I have long enjoyed. They make everything from composite cases containing super quartz chronograph movements to precious metal historic designs that house higher-end complications like a tourbillon chronograph. The styling, the detail work, the versatility, the design language, the brand history, I find it all very compelling. Now, recently I went to Pennsylvania to attend the National Association of Watch and Clock Collectors Convention, which Breitling sponsored. While there, I went to a lecture by Fred Mandelbaum, or you may know him as Watch Fred on Instagram. He is the official Breitling brand historian, and apart from presenting the history of the company, he brought with him from Europe a large collection of museum-level pieces, each of them incredibly rare and historically significant. And this is an example of what Breitling gets right. It's not just sponsoring a fun event that is geared toward collectors, that preserves and celebrates all things horology. No, it's deeper than that. When George Kern left Richemont to become the CEO of Breitling, Breitling's archives were incomplete, to say the least. So Mr. Kern, he approached the foremost expert on vintage Breitling, Fred Mandelbaum, and hired him. Fred has been crucial in filling in the archives and providing proper context for the brand's partial focus on historic, inspired releases, and that's something that I appreciate. So when in need, find the right person or people for the job and move forward as a company while still honoring the past and engage with the most enthusiastic of your consumer base. I think Breitling does that. I've also talked to several watch collectors who mentioned to me that they notice a new direction of Breitling, and there is less focus in their eyes on very large, all-polished, rather blingy watches, and more focus on cohesive yet distinctive design lines, a mix of modern lines as well as vintage or revival lines. So Breitling now has a large but organized product catalog, good versatility, and that product catalog does not lean too heavily into the highly limited or the exclusive releases, which other brands tend to lean into. Now, I think there will never be universal agreement, but on the whole, Breitling is moving in a direction that I find easy to get excited about. Although it has not been perfect, Breitling has a plan, and I think it's been a good one so far. Now, another thing that Breitling gets right in my eyes is not resting on their laurels. They continue to push forward in terms of complications that they offer as a company. In the past few years, we have seen them release not just basic time, dual time, or chronograph calibers, but rattrapant, annual calendars, moon phase, and tourbillon. So they're not afraid to use the movement that best fits the watch at its price, be it an upgraded ETA or Solita, an in-house movement like the B01, a Canisi-made movement, or a Concepto-based caliber. And this thought process, I think, is necessary in today's watch market, and it demonstrates the ability to think rationally and plan ahead and think about the consumer, because in-house exclusive calibers do not always make the best choice for a watch collector. Now, in that regard, I would like to show you a Breitling caliber that was brought to this convention, this event that I attended in Pennsylvania. It is a model that I likely will never see again, at least in person, and I am very excited to show you the details and share my opinion. Now, I was fortunate to film this one of 50 white gold Premier chronograph that proudly features a tourbillon. Now, this was at Brent Miller Jewelers, the Breitling authorized dealer for the region. If you are shopping for this specific piece or any Breitling piece, I'll leave a link in the description. Now, the Premier officially launched in 1943 as World War II was approaching its conclusion. The designs at the time were shockingly different from the toolish chronographs that Breitling produced during the war. So this Premier line had style, and it was markedly upscale and a celebration of sorts that was enthusiastically received at the close of this World War. Now, this Gaston named edition pays homage to those early Premier models, but most distinctively features a chronograph tourbillon that was created in collaboration with Le Jeu. Now, the chronometer certified caliber has 30 joules, a 4 Hz beat frequency, and 55 hours of power reserve. This beautiful finish work is viewed behind a large box-shaped sapphire crystal that will have anti-reflective treatment applied to it. The purling, the striping, the anglage, the black polishing, it's all very well executed. And I could spend hours looking at this 5-position regulated caliber and actuating the column wheel and seeing the 22 karat gold wind the mainspring. I think this is so beautiful. But what I enjoy watching the most is the rhythmic circular creep of the balance. The single axis tourbillon, which translates to whirlpool or whirlwind, was patented by Abraham Louis Breguet back in 1802. Now, the escapement and balance are set within a rotating cage, and this is designed to minimize the errors of poise in the balance, as just the position of this cage is always changing. So in short, this style of escapement is aimed to increase accuracy and produce a uniform average rate. In essence, it is a 200-plus-year-old concept that is intended to improve performance while also looking absolutely beautiful in the process. I find this mesmerizing. There is a reason why so many brands opt to show the consumer the tourbillon complication. It is a work of art that we just don't see very often these days. And Breitling has done an excellent job with this one. I enjoy how the wearer can appreciate the balance while the watch is on wrist. And this really isn't possible, at least to this degree, with a traditional open heart dial with a basic movement. I always find those executions rather unattractive. You might disagree with me there, but it's the exact opposite of what I feel when I look at this. Now, I would also like to mention that it is easier to appreciate the complication as well as the fine details of the dial, the execution, the movement, because of the excellent job of coating these box-shaped sapphire crystals with effective layers of anti-reflective treatment. And I think Breitling is the most consistent brand, at least in my opinion, to do top-level ARC, and that is another thing that they get right. Now, am I a buyer for this watch? No, this is out of my price comfort zone, as it is likely for a lot of you watching this video, but that doesn't mean that I can't appreciate what Breitling has accomplished. Again, this is a brand moving in an exciting direction, and I think they get a lot of things right in my eyes, so please let me know what you think. Let me know if you disagree with me. Thank you for watching today. Please like and subscribe to my channel to catch more content just like this.
But I've never owned a Breitling. Bruce, you like Breitling.
I love Breitling.
You just told me you think it's probably your favorite brand.
If I had to only wear one brand, it'd probably be Breitling.